Hey guys, the majority of you are not subscribed to this channel, so can you please take 1 second and subscribe? And the people that have subscribed, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. We're at 999,000. We're about to hit 1 million because of you guys. I appreciate you, and God bless. Our guest today is one of the least intimidating human beings you'll ever see. He hates tattoos. He is a veteran, he's a Green Beret, and he's basically what you would get if you crossed a yoga instructor with a Viking. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Simmons. Dan, what's up, brother? Was that the best intro you've ever had?
Oh, yeah, very accurate.
Because it looked like you literally, like any body fat. You have any, you're not dealing with any body fat right now.
No.
So Dan, for all the people, just like who are you, your past, military, everything, just so people have a quick synopsis of who you are.
Yeah. So currently I'm the CEO and founder of Black Flag International. We're an elite private security company. We have protected the most powerful and richest people on the planet, from the president of the United States on down. So I'm really happy about that and the team that we have put together. Prior to that, I spent a little over 20 years in the United States military. Almost 17 of that was as a Green Beret in Special Forces.
Sick.
And yeah.
That's awesome, bro. So Dan, just because I know everybody in the audience, everybody in here wants to know, how long would it take for you to kill me with your bare hands? Like, what did you?
From right here.
Like, by the way, I hope people that are watching, like, I wish you could have seen in his eyes, because he gave me that second where you're like, I could do it with this or with whatever I'm carrying.
Yeah.
But Dan,
I like options.
Yeah. So with bare hands, would it be? How long do you think it would take? And have you ever done it?
No, I've never done it. But, throughout my career, obviously, you have to put your hands on a lot of people. I did OIF, OEF, and operations in support of Syria as well, too. So, there was a lot of opportunities to put my hands on people. But, I had a conversation with a guy named Alon, I think, has been on the show, too, right? And one of the things we were talking about is, in those environments, there's no rules. Like, it's not like I'm bound by any gaming commission like the UFC about what you can and can't do, right? And so the sky is the limit on the imagination. And so, you go for the most dismantling thing as quickly as possible so that you can put your opponent in a position where they essentially cannot fight back, and then it's game on.
It's all,
right?
It's all, yeah. And it's because there's no rule. There's no, when it's war, it's not like, hey, time out, you bit me. It's your life or it's their life. You know what I'm saying? And I guess what? I'm not gonna. You're trying to fight for your life. I'm trying to survive. So Dan, before we get into the Green Beret, the training, and all this stuff and the stories, what age did you join the military, and what made you join? Like, did you come from a military family?
I came from. So ironically, my mom was a military brat. I'm one of 10. Large Sicilian family. My mom didn't serve, but both my grandfathers were military in the Army as well, and I can actually trace my family's military heritage all the way back to the Civil War.
Holy moly!
Yeah, and long line of military in my family. But I joined at 22. I joined in, my BASD was 1 October 2002, and now I wish I could say I had like real like great intentions of how and why I joined the military, 9/11, stuff like that. And that was, of course, part of it.
Yeah.
Right. But I was probably in the worst part of my life ever.
Leading up to your 22?
Yeah, leading up to me joining the military. And I was a severe drug addict at the time. Like, I was actually addicted to heroin.
Oh, what?
And I got my girlfriend pregnant, and I had to have, it was probably one of the most convicting moments of my life, where I was at a crossroads of, what type of father am I going to be? Am I going to be like my father, or am I going to be the father that I wanted when I was younger? And I couldn't do that dead or in jail. And the road that I was currently on and the people that I was around, those were probably my only options. And so, had a come to Jesus a moment. And so I went and saw my grandfather, who did 35 years in the Army, and I was like, Grandpa, I'm in a pretty bad spot right now. Like, I need a major change in my life. you know, he was like, well, you always wanted to be in the military. And he was like, it seems like you could probably use the structure and the discipline right now. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I could join the military right now. And he took one look at me and was like, no, I suppose not.
Wow.
And he said, well, he's like, it looks like you need to get yourself clean first, and then we'll revisit this conversation. And so I went home that day and I locked myself in my apartment for a week, and I got off of everything cold turkey.
Holy
And
moly.
I mean, quitting almost killed me. Like there were definitely days where I felt like that process was going to kill me.
So what like it's so because I want to know what that process is like, because obviously, bro, with me with drinking and partying and doing all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So then so the moment you found out that she's pregnant, that's when it was just like, dude, what, like that was it? Because mind you,
Yeah.
and I know, and everybody
Well,
watching.
so it wasn't. It was definitely like kind of immediate. It really hit me like when I went to that first doctor's appointment with her. You know, like I'm completely strung out, and I'm at this doctor's appointment.
just geeking out, you're like,
And
is that
I'm
a
like,
baby in there?
yeah, well, and they're doing the ultrasound, and I'm like, I'm looking at the screen, and I'm like, I am not, well, even sober right now, but that looks like two heads. And she was like, yep, congratulations, you're having twins. And I was
No.
like,
Oh my god.
oh my God, like what,
Wow.
like, and just like, yeah, like a crushing wave of conviction came over me, like in that moment.
But then like people, I want people to realize drinking is one thing. Oh my goodness, there she is, Chris. Thank you, my love. Look at that, guys. I'm trying to be healthy. I want everybody to see that. I'm trying my best, but guess what?
Trying to watch the figure.
You know what I'm talking about?
Thank you.
I have to do that. And by the way,
Appreciate
Chris,
it.
I brought my own syrup. I just want everybody to know that I brought my own actual organic syrup. Dan, you mind if we pray real quick?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then
Absolutely.
Dear Lord, thank you for the food that we're about to eat and the hands that made it. Lord, thank you for Dan and him being here, Lord, and keeping him safe throughout the years and beating the addiction and being the amazing human being that he is and the father that he is now, Lord, and all the times that you protected him in battle, in war, to make us safe, Lord. I want to say thank you so much. And all the people that are watching this at home, Lord, whatever they're going through, whatever struggles, anything that's happening in their lives, Lord, give them comfort and protect them. And all the people out there, Lord, that are struggling right now, give them hope, give them faith. And they don't have food in front of them right now, let them know, Lord, that they are not forgotten. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So, all right, Dan, so at 22, you're seeing this, you're seeing it happen, because I want people to understand,
Yeah.
quitting drinking and all that stuff, it's hard, but it's not heroin, bro. There's not that many stories that you hear where people are like me. I'm like, okay, I took 8 months off. I took this much off. May 31st is my 3 years off. Heroin, shooting, that's not common. So when you locked yourself in there, Dan, are people coming, food, visit? And when you say you almost died, what is that like? Like,
So
what are you going through?
You know, so in addition to like the heroin, it was, you know, it was a lot of other stuff too. A lot of prescription drugs at the time that I had access to, given the people that were in my life at the time. And so like just like crazy amounts of benzodiazepines as well too.
What's that?
Because like Valium, Versed, stuff like that, right?
Put you to sleep?
Well, because like everything that I was doing, it was like I was fighting like the roller coaster of, I'm doing too much, I need to come back down, and it's like I did too much of that, now I got to come back up. And so, you know, the lifestyle I had at the time, that was my life every day, right? And you know, quitting is your body fighting you because you won't give it what it needs or what it wants. And you know, my time as a medic in Special Forces, knowing what I know now about medicine, like cold turkey off all that,
Very
probably
stupid.
not the smartest way to do that.
Very stupid.
But, you know, I was also in a place where I didn't feel like I had any other option. It was either I have to just be done with this and make a decision and stick to it, and whatever happens, happens, or I'm going to always find myself like dependent upon these substances, right? And so, you know, I'm pretty sure I went and bought a carton of cigarettes on the way home. But like,
Yeah, to try.
I was like, I just gotta get through it. And what they don't tell you is like those, especially in those first couple days, like you go through like what seems to be an endless cycle of vomiting and hot and cold and more vomiting, like keeping anything down, like you
Impossible.
can just forget that. Yeah. Like that's a pipe dream.
I'm pretty sure you were ripped though. Pretty sure you were just like strung out, coming down, but you were just jacked.
But I wasn't a big guy back then. I was a drug addict. I was like 165 pounds at 6'4".
So you were my weight. You were my weight.
Yeah, and like rail thin, and.
Did they ever try intervention? Did your family ever try to intervene with you? And was your girl wasn't doing anything?
Well, I mean, she was doing stuff too at the time, not like I was. Like I was keeping that part of it from her.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so the vomiting, the temperature changes of hot, cold. You spend a lot of time in the bathtub. Right, because you realize that your temperature is changing so rapidly. Like sometimes you want the hot water, and then it's easy to switch it back to cold when you feel like you're burning up. And then, if you're throwing up, at least it goes down the drain. Yeah, it's to say it's uncomfortable is probably the greatest understatement of all times. But
okay, well, dude, I'm so freaking happy that you kicked it, and I'm happy that God gave the twins to make you go, oh my God, I got to change. So Dan. Wait. Basic training. So you joined basic. Was it easy for you? Was it wild?
Oh, no. Oh. Okay, so keep in mind, like I show up to basic training, right? I've been
in a room?
I've been clean. I've been clean from heroin for 6 months at this point.
All right.
My daughters are 9 weeks old.
Okay.
And I'm at basic training in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. One, it's already disgustingly cold there.
Okay.
And I guess I've just got something on my face that tells drill sergeants, like, this is the guy who's going to try and test us. Like, he's the one that's going to swing at a drill sergeant. Like, they were literally auctioning me off from platoon to platoon. Like, no, I want him. I'll trade you this guy to have him in my platoon.
At this point, were you skinny? Or
no, I'm still rail thin, right?
But they just don't like your face.
Oh, they just didn't like. I had one of those faces that was like, that guy's gonna pop, and I want to be there when he does because I'm gonna put him in his place. Mm-hmm. And you got to realize, like, October 2002, we're preparing to go to war in Iraq, but we haven't declared war, right? Like. Major units are already mobilizing, 82nd, 101st, right? Yeah. Marines, everyone is ready to go, into Fallujah and all of that, right? And so it's a unique training environment in basic. Like, there's really not any rules. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, say something stupid. You're absolutely going to get hit.
Oh,
you're like, there's no like, oh, you can't hit a student, right? Yeah. This isn't 2026. No, we're preparing to go to war. Yeah. And they're actually doing you a favor because the first time you get hit in the face, you do not want to be in a combat zone. You want to already know as a man how you're going to react to being hit in the face. Yeah. And so, I mean, not that my generation needed any help with that. I was pretty clear on what getting hit in the face felt like already. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was a very interesting time for basic. Like, I got my absolute ass handed to me. I've also never been sicker in my life.
Really?
Well, you bring people from all walks of life, and you cram them into an enclosed environment.
Social distancing my ass.
And it's just there's a lot of different bacteria that ends up in the same place, and you get super sick. And I lost my voice for a good majority of basic training anyway.
Can I talk right back? You want to laugh now? I think Maverick has heard this story. The first day, because you guys, I'm pretty sure the audience knows my personality. The first day I got in this type of trouble, they do a shakedown for you guys where you're in your underwear. There's like 50 of us standing here, 50 of us standing, and there's all strangers in their underwear, Dan, and all of our crap is on our bed, and they're making sure there's no knives, there's no guns. I joined with my best friend, Jamal. So he's standing next to me. He's like your height. He's huge. He's 6'something". They're in the other bay yelling at, all you hear is, you stupid, you brought a knife, what the, and they're going nuts. So Dan, I'm a comedian through and through, right? So I'm standing there, Matt, you heard the story, right? So I'm standing there like this, and I'm telling my friend Jamal, I'm like, Jamal, look, and he knows me, Dan. He's like, Vinnie, don't do nothing. He's like, stop. And then all these people, like, these are strangers from Kentucky and Idaho, they're looking at me like, what the hell's he gonna do? Dan, I just start dancing like an idiot. My friend starts laughing, and then these guys are like, yo, stop. I'm like, shut the hell up. I start dancing. Dan, a short Mexican drill instructor walks by and sees me, and I'm not gonna cuss, Dan, he sees me in his peripheral, and he goes, you, get the hell over here now. Then I look at my friend Jamal, I go, we're screwed. So they bring us there, so picture 100 guys standing around me. I'm in the middle, then in my underwear, tighty whities, horrible, petrified like this, and they're all yelling with their hats. He's like, you think you're cool? You New York son of a, you guys think you're cool, right? He goes, all right, tough guy. He's like, start dancing right now. And then you have to, and I'm just like, sir, he's like, don't just dance now. Hey guys and gals, Vincent Oshana here. My Faith Over Fear line is taking off, and it's all thanks to you. We've got hats, shirts, hoodies, you name it. We also got brand new designs and new apparel dropping all the time. So if you want to rock some Faith Over Fear gear, hit the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the description. And remember, guys, if you have true faith in God, you have absolutely nothing to fear. God bless, and the future looks bright. I just start doing regular moves. Nobody's laughing, bro. Everybody's just that serious. He goes, do other moves. I know you know, and I'm not doing like the Jamaican dance. And then, Jules, I swear to you, are you ready with this? So picture me, I'm doing every dance I know, and he goes to my friend Jamal, he goes, and you, start cheering him on. Picture 100 guys in underwear staring at me. I'm in the middle dancing, and my friend Jamal is about to cry, no emotion. He's like, go Vinnie, go Vinnie, go Vinnie. And from that moment on, bro, every time they saw me, Dan, church, Sunday, no joke, we're waiting for communion. The instructor, this maniac, he'd be like, hey, he's like, dance now. And I'd be like in line trying to get communion to dance. But yeah, people don't realize, bro, because you go from, you don't know what that world is. You don't know what the hell's coming.
Well, it's its own culture, right? And like that's why the military was designed not to bend, because it is its own culture. Everyone there comes from a different one, but you will bend to this one, and it's for a reason, right? Because that's the military doesn't operate effectively without that structure and discipline within its culture.
Yes.
Like it'll fall apart, right? It can't exist. You know, like we used to say, like the military is not a democracy, right? The military is a monarchy that is designed to protect a republic/democracy.
I get it.
Right?
Yep.
But it's not a democracy, right? It's mass punishment.
They listen, at the end of the day, that's why I love that. Like, for people that are right now questioning what the Department of War is doing, bro, they changed the name from the Department of Defense to Department of War. What'd you expect? So then I want to ask you a question. So you become a Green Beret, you have to go through special forces training, ruck marches, land nav, sleep deprivation, SEER school, which I don't know if people even understand what it's survival. It's insane. That school's insane. Psychological evaluations, just to name a few. Out of all that training, Dan, what was the hardest for you? What was that moment where you're like, oh my God, like to decide to be a Green Beret, bro, that's not just I'm going to be a Green Beret because I like the hat. What was out of all the training, what was the hardest one? Like,
the hardest
you
one?
think that you were going to quit? That made you say, all right, I'm good.
Probably SEER school. Probably SEER school.
And what is SEER for the people that don't know?
SEER is survival, evasion, resistance, and escape, right? That's the, they teach you survival skills so that you can live off of the land, but they also teach you how to resist as a prisoner of war in a POW camp.
Like torture, if you're getting tortured?
Yeah, they certainly put you in some uncomfortable situations, and like everyone's sort of saying there's always somebody bigger and stronger. That guy is an instructor in SEER school, right? And I was actually talking to my youngest son about this yesterday. The guy who was the bigger and stronger in my SEER school that was cadre, like, because you have a couple different interviews, right, that you have to do. They're more like interrogations, right? But one of them is a hostile interrogation, and it's the purpose of it is to stress you to the max without breaking you and pushing you over the limit. But in that moment, like, still realizing, like, go back to your training, like, mentally stick to your training, even in this moment, even when it sucks, when you think you can't go any further.
Yes.
Like, remember your training. And so they take you to that point. That point for me was a dude named Comrade Chaos.
Oh, great.
Right?
Sounds like a good wholesome
And
guy.
actually, when I went through SEER school, I was like almost the exact same size I am right now. I'm 6'4", 215. And this guy is slamming me wall to wall like I am an empty backpack with a single book in it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a small guy. I'm just getting slammed corner to corner in the wall. And like one of the rules we had, and I have no idea if this is even a stipulation now, but back then they had a rule, and when you're in the POW camp, every time your left foot touched the ground, you had to say boots. The stupidest rule, right?
Why?
But one of the things, so about that is like you have these rules, and they're stupid, right? But when you violate them, the punishment is extreme. So they're teaching you like compliance and how to resist and stay compliant, right? So I had my own way, like probably not appropriate to talk about here, but I had my own way of like getting my small victory on that particular rule. But like as I'm just getting slammed like into the wall to wall, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a scene from the WWE, right? Like it's Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage, the Macho Man or something, right? The beating stops for a second, and he's holding me by my shoulders, and he just leans into me and he goes, "Why you not say boots?" And just starts just wrecking shop again. I'm like, oh my God.
This is the Chaos guy?
Yeah. It was Comrade Chaos.
That's so
and like, so, yeah, it was, but I think for me, like why that was one of the most difficult things is like, it puts you in a scenario where like, for me, I had to just surrender, not to the situation, but like I had to surrender to God that he was going to bring me through a situation like that, and have that realization that like, should I ever end up in a situation like that, like that he's with me even then, And so it was the, I think everyone who goes through that level of SEER training, because there's different levels to it, but I think that's the highest one. But I think everyone that goes through that level, in time you walk away from it going, that was both the absolute worst and the best training like I've ever received in my career, because you're only in that camp for a certain amount of days, but like the instructors are so good at their trade craft. Like when you leave that camp and you get liberated, you truly hate them. Like you truly hate them. And I that's a strong word, right? But like that's where you're at mentally. Like they've taken you so close to that line of being broken mentally, because the breaking you physically part's easy, right? Yeah. They've taken you so close to that line, like you truly hate them as individuals. And then like, you get you get your debrief from people that are not them, right? Intentionally. And like you even leave like on a psychological profile to stay in calm environments for a period of time, because like you've been taken that close to the edge,
So Dan, so your first deployment, so now you graduate. So Dan, are you technically, your Green Beret, your Special Forces as well? Is it? Because you went to the Special
Those are synonymous.
Synonymous. It says whatever, you're a Green Beret.
Yeah, Green Beret is our Special Forces. Like, so the term Special Forces is unique to the Army.
Got you.
Like, so Special Forces, Green Berets, that's the same thing.
Okay, I got you.
Whereas like the term Special Operations, like every service has its own Special Operations Command, right? But the term Special Forces is synonymous with Green Berets in the Army.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what? I remember you said, because by the way, I was in during 9/11. I got stop lost, and they're like, you can't leave. Now you can't leave, like a mafia freaking Bronx tale. What was your first deployment, and like where, like if you could talk about where were you at then, and you were like really in it, and you were like, oh, like this is it, like this is where like it's I could get. Like, because my thing is this, like imagine standing in the desert and you're just out there, you don't know who's watching you, you know who's on you, that has to play a role. We're training aside, bro. What was the first deployment that you were there, that wherever you went and you were like, okay, this is legit. This is happening.
So my first deployment was Iraq, 2010. I was in a city called Kirkuk, which is northern Iraq. And Kirkuk is the southernmost Kurdish-controlled city. And like our biggest, to be honest, I never really had that moment. I never had that like, oh shit moment, right? Not on that deployment. Like I supported a lot of different types of operations during that deployment, but like that one's not when I had that moment. But you know, that was an interesting time being in that part of Iraq as well too, because the Kurds were very much taking over and controlling, you know, all of Kurdistan at that point. And it was not a safe or comfortable place to be for Arabs. And you know, like one of the things that the Kurds were doing in Kirkuk is like, if you were an Arab family, and they would write messages on AK-47 rounds and leave them in your mailbox. Like, you should just leave before we make you leave.
Yeah.
Like, and of course, being made to leave in that situation was they weren't going to be leaving above ground.
Yeah.
You know, and so there was a lot of our biggest threat in that area at the time was actually sniper fire, and so.
Which is how nerve-wracking is that, bro? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
you're in an urban environment, and like, you know, at the time I had already been through SOTIC, which is level 1 sniper course, and so like, you know, I'm thinking about anti-sniper stuff, you know, I'm thinking about all that stuff, and I'm just looking around going, yep, I'd be posted up right there and right there and right there, and I'm like, I'm vulnerable from so many directions right now. This is a bit unsettling, especially standing in a turret, you know, like,
oh man, on top of a Hummer.
And like in an urban environment too, it's like, man, these aren't even difficult shots. Like, you don't need a sniper weapon system. You need a dialed in AR-15 right now.
Done.
You know what I mean? And I'm it's it for me. I mean, fortunately I had a minigun, so you know, everybody over there that was not an American was pretty terrified of that thing. So when they see it, they you know, this was 2010, so by that time I think everybody kind of knew, like, you do not mess with the guys with the tan helmets, and you definitely stay away from that minigun, right?
How many rounds a minute does a minigun shoot?
4,400 rounds a minute, 7.62.
Bro.
Yeah.
7.62? And I want people that are watching to, like, 7.62 is AK-47, it's M60.
But the cartridges are longer, so it's like an AK round that's about 5 inches long, and so
that could cut down a house.
Oh, you can cut a house in half for sure.
Holy
yeah.
And how long till the barrel gets to where you can't shoot?
So you never want to go cyclic like that.
Yeah.
But like normally just do bursts. But you know, like if you want to put heads down, like, you know, that definitely just let that. With like our gun truck with that on it was called Painless, because like from the Predator, right?
Yeah, of course.
There was like, you know, about time we let old Painless out of the bag.
Yeah.
Right, that's where that came from, Jesse Maduro.
Yeah.
And so Painless truck, but the hopper that's attached to only holds 3,000 rounds.
Okay, so you can't.
I mean, you would go black on that can in less than a minute. So maybe 45 seconds it would take to dispel 3,000 rounds.
Going.
Like,
but,
just rip right through it.
Okay, so Dan, out of all the deployments, what was the craziest one? What was the one where you were actually? Because I mean, you actually were in combat.
Yeah.
You were in combat. So what was it? Iraq? Was Iraq the one?
Afghanistan probably.
Afghanistan's the one.
Yeah.
What year was this?
This was 2000. Well, I was there 2012 and 13. So like, I think the most memorable one thing that came out of all of that is like I think it was like January 2013. We were making our way through this really crappy city, and it's like, if you wanted to get in a gunfight, all you have to do is go through this town.
Are you guys bored?
Right?
You guys bored?
So,
go that way.
So we're driving through this town one day, right? And we start getting just dumped on by snow, like to the point where we no longer have medevac available to us, which means you gotta go back, right? Like we lost AWT, which is like our Apaches and stuff like that too. And so it was like, all right, well, now we have no air, we have no medevac support. Like that's like RTB right now, right? So like because of how much snow we were getting hit with, it's almost like white out getting snowed on.
Anything.
And, you know, we're at 8,000 feet, so we're getting hammered pretty good with snow. And our only option was to turn around and go back the way we came, which is like the absolute most dangerous thing that you can do. But there was no other option. Like the route that we had ahead of us was not going to be safe for us to travel, and the distance we still had to go was way too much. So we had to turn the entire convoy around. Right, of course they're set up on us when we pull back through the city, and so they open up on us with machine guns and whatnot, and then like you hear that initial volley of fire, and then it was like over the radio, troops in contact, and then I hear medic. I was like,
that quick,
like here we go, and like, you know, my team sergeant's like, Dan, let's go, buddy. I'm like, so I pop the hatch and we hop out the back. You know, we gotta fight our way over to where the casualty is, and it was one of our partner force guys, and he's got 7 new holes in his body, you know, and, you know, we get him behind cover, and, you know, when guys are shot up that bad, like I would get so hyper focused, like things almost slow down, and like, not really slow down, but definitely like, I even stopped hearing things because I'm so hyper focused on what I'm doing.
On what
like
this person
because like
you.
I'm quite literally trying to save your life here. Like nothing else matters to me right now. Like, and so I'm hyper focused on this dude, and I don't speak Farsi. I speak Russian, and so like but I can tell he's saying the same thing over and over again. And my terp's right there helping me, this guy, and like I'm putting tourniquets on him, and I'm plugging holes in his body, and
Is he he's crying, or he's just saying?
I mean, he's definitely clearly distraught, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Because he took one round, like shattered his left humerus. One round took most of the fingers off on his hand, and so he's got like this, you know, and that's all he's got left on his hand. And I think I was bandaging actually the stump up at the time. He's got a couple other rounds that hit like left side of his chest, one that, you know, shattered his pelvis, and so he's doing it. He's got it pretty rough, and he's like, he's messing up my Zen. Like I'm starting to hear more, and things going boom and more gunfire. I'm like, all right. I'm like, look, what is he saying? Yeah. Like he's saying the same thing over and over again. Like I need him to like calm down. So like, I got it. It hurts, you know, and you just got shot 7 times. Yeah. But like, what is he saying? And he grabs my arm, he stops me, and he goes, he's begging you to save his life.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay. Well, tell him to shut up. I'm trying to save his life.
Like what a moment where you're trying to focus to save this guy, and he's bothering you.
Yeah, and he's
like, hey, shell him. Shut up.
But like there was that moment of like clarity combined with like the impact that everything that I've been through, like up till that point, right? Everything, like the training and the stress and like the mental, physical, spiritual like pain that I've gone through to get to that point right there is all coming together all at once, you know, and the purpose behind that is save this guy's life.
Was that the first time?
No,
that wasn't the first one.
No, definitely not the first one. The first one is actually a really funny story though,
okay.
but
I want to hear it.
But with that guy, like, you know, I was able to get back to work and I did save his life, right?
Wow.
But you know, a couple weeks later, I went to the hospital and he was actually, well, I mean, walking's probably not the correct word, but he was vertical at least. You know, he had a lot of hardware attached to him at the time, holding things together for future surgeries. But you know, that situation, not only was I able to save that individual's life, but when I went to the hospital after he was evac'd, he got evac'd to an Afghan hospital, and I went to the hospital to go, before we even went back to base, I was like, no, that's my patient. Like, we gotta go check on him. You know, we get to the hospital and I walk in there, you know, I've got, if it goes boom, I've still got it on me, you know, and I walk in the hospital and they're just like, whoa, like,
who the hell?
And I'm like, hey, a guy just got brought in here, like these injuries, like where's he at? And they're like, sir, like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, that guy's my patient. I want to know where he's at. and a guy came over that spoke English, like very good English,
Yeah.
like clearly like English trained, educated.
Yes.
And he was like, you know, hey, what's going on? One, you can't have all that stuff on you. I'm like, this is Afghanistan, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, let me just. Can you check this?
Afghanistan's why I have all this on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so he's like, who's your patient? So I told him, and he was like, that's your patient? And he's like, yeah, he's here, but why are you here? I'm like, because he's mine. Like I live and fight with that guy every day. Like, so I'm, you know, he's my responsibility.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, they're prepping him for the OR. Like he's gonna make it because you were there. And turns out that guy was the Surgeon General for the Afghan National Army.
Holy moly.
And so like huge rapport builder that I came to the hospital to check on my patient. Yeah,
what was he doing out there? Then what was he doing out there with you guys? He was just in the.
Oh, he was at just at that hospital that day.
Gotcha.
So
that's fantastic.
You know, like I said, I like to say, like, right place, God's timing.
Of course.
You know,
of course.
And yeah, I mean, from there on out, like I could pretty much do no wrong, like with the reputation that we had with the ANA after that. You know.
So then let me ask you a question, bro, because you know people throw around, you know, words and phrases all the time online, you know, my trauma, you know, PTSD, it's like, it's so watered down, brother, but you've actually been there, you've been through it, you know, you've seen it. I can imagine that's just one story. That wasn't even the first one. And you remember that one. How much does that actually, when you see the death, you see the destruction, how much does that change you as a person? I was talking to Julius before this, like they say, when you jump out of a plane, the parachute, chemically, you're not the same person because your body goes through something. Because I don't care what you say, you're having a good time. Am I gonna die? I'm gonna die. Your body releases a certain amount of things. When you're at that level, Dan, the adrenaline, the this, the that. Once you see that, does it change? Something change in you, and then how do you deal with it every single day? Like, what is your day now? Like, I'm not saying something's wrong with you, but it's different. Everything's different.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely changed by it. You know, the guys who. I think we all probably went through a phase where like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Like, well, yeah, you might be good, but you're not the same person anymore, you know? And like, I think the violence does that for people because it's like, it's so counterintuitive. Like when you're in an environment surrounded by extreme violence, right? And I mean, extreme to the point where most people can't actually conceptualize it. Like, Hollywood's great, right? But like, nice try. Right? That's the reality. Good try, but not quite. You know, because like one of the things you don't get from that movie is the smells, right? The smells that occur when blood and guts hit the mud, you know, and the smell of the firefight, the smell of gunpowder and mortars having just gone off and heavy artillery and like. That's one of the most vivid things that I can remember from certain firefights is the smells, right? But like that level of violence changes you for sure because you've experienced something that most people can't conceptualize. And so I think, you know, somebody was asking me, they were like, man, do you miss it? And I'm like, every day, right? Really? And because it's, like the brotherhood and the relationship that you build with the other men that have chosen to be right next to you, right? And sacrifice everything, right? Like they're away from their families and their kids and they still want to be, it doesn't matter how bad it ever gets, they still want to be there right next to you, even until death, right? And you just can't, that's hard to replicate,
of course.
you know, and like you talk about a dopamine hit, like good luck in replicating that one. You know what I mean? Like, that look when like you're covered in dirt and mortars are coming in and like a heavy machine gun fire and you're just looking at your bro and you're like, this might be it. This might be it.
Yeah,
you know,
like, hey, that money that I owe you, forget about it.
I'm sorry, I'm not better looking, but this might be the last face you see. But yeah, you know, like I miss the brotherhood of it probably the most. Just Because it's not just like being around guys that like, hey, they signed up for something that they're even going to die for you if they have to, right? But what makes it truly special to me is that not only will the guys die for you, right? Because that's a single decision that you have to make with that kind of commitment, but like those guys wake up every day choosing to live for you also. Every decision they make, every meal they eat, every workout they do is about lethality and survivability. And I've yet to experience anything else where like someone doesn't share my blood, has that kind of commitment and dedication, you know? Yeah, I miss the brotherhood, and I miss the toys.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Like there's something it does to your soul when you hear a belt-fed machine gun going off, you know, it warms my heart. And I'm just like, that is the smell of heaven right there.
I'm so happy you're on our side. I'm so happy because you know there's some terrorists out there right now. Like I just love when I hear that noise. But so Dan, let me ask you a couple of questions. I want to definitely talk about the toys. When you talk about that camaraderie and that friendship, and if you don't want to talk about that, that's totally fine. But did you lose anybody? Because I know that you were saving people that were Afghani. Did you lose anybody that was like near and dear to you there during any of your deployments?
So
like a really good friend?
I was extremely fortunate. Definitely some guys made it more challenging than others, but I never lost an American in 17 years.
God.
I never lost an American.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
I was very fortunate. I can't say that for all my partner force guys, but I never lost an American. Now, I had my losses throughout that time in service. You know, one of the guys I'm wearing right now, Jimmy Genus, lost my best friend in February of 17. You know, there's a memorial wall at a bar called Charlie Mike's in Fayetteville, North Carolina, right outside of Fort Bragg.
How did he pass, if you don't mind me asking?
Who's that?
Your friend.
Kind of a crazy story. Did not die in a combat zone. Like guy was involved in, I mean, just some wild combat stories, wild stuff, like stuff you're sure you're never gonna walk away from. Like this is gonna be it, but we're gonna give it everything we've got and walked away from it. And then,
Green Beret.
Yeah, Green Beret. Yeah. So we were privates in military intelligence in South Korea together.
Oh,
like
wow.
in 2004.
Yeah.
Right. One of my longest friends in the Army. He ended up going to Campbell. I went to Fort Gordon after that, and then we both ended up in Special Forces. Both ended up in 10th Group, and then we both ended up in Germany, and then we both ended up in Afghanistan at one point. Just like an incredible human being, an absolute house of a man too. Like Jimmy's that guy who's in there, like he's trying not to make people feel bad, but if he's warming up for deadlifts with less than 600 pounds, he's not really getting his workout in. You know what I mean? Just an absolute beast, right? And just an impressive human being physically. But like more than that, like his personality, like it's impossible to stay in a bad mood around Jimmy. Impossible. I don't care what your wife could have left you because she cheated on you with your best friend and she took all your kids and it's the worst scenario possible. You're around Jimmy 5 minutes, you're in a good mood and you don't even know why you feel good about it, right? But he's that guy. You can't stay in a bad mood. Like he never said a bad word about anybody in the 15 years I knew him. You know, was always super positive, was always like solution minded, or like, cool, that's the problem, like that sucks, bro, so like what are we doing about it? And it was never like, what are you doing about it? It was like, what are we gonna do about it? How are we gonna get past it? What do you need from me? You know, that was his approach to everything. It was Jimmy always had your back, always.
And how did he pass?
So he was at a school that I can't really get into, but like basically like we were in Colorado Springs at the same time. We were still stationed in Germany, but we were in Colorado Springs. He was training at Fort Carson there, and you know, we were going out for some drinks that night, and I was like, hey, you want to come out? You know, we're going to this place that got phenomenal Moscow mules, and he's like, I would love to, but he's like, they're already kind of thinking I'm not taking this course seriously, and we're leaving for San Diego tomorrow, so I should probably like chill and hang back.
What was
and I
the
was
course
I can't really get
oh,
it.
my
Yeah,
bad,
just
my
a
bad.
training course.
Yeah, my bad.
And so I was like, yeah, no, we'll get together when we get back to Germany. And he texted me like 15 minutes later. He's like, F it, where are we going?
Oh, really?
I was like, my man.
Yeah.
So he comes out, we have some drinks, and then he goes to San Diego the next day. And then I wake up the day after that in the morning, and my wife was on Facebook, and she was like, take a look at Facebook. There's a bunch of stuff about Jimmy on Facebook, like RIP Jimmy. I'm like, well, that's got to be a joke. Like, we just saw Jimmy. Like,
Yeah.
and it was all over the place. Like, I was like, what is, I called back to some of my teammates in Germany. I was like, what is happening here? Like, I can't get a hold of Jimmy. I just saw Jimmy a day ago.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, yeah, bro, they got down to San Diego, freaking got checked into the hotel late. He walked across the street to grab some snacks for the hotel, just a case of waters and some snacks, you know what I mean, to keep there, because they're going to be there for the next several days. And freaking walking back across the street, guys texting and driving, didn't even see them, hit him at 60 miles an hour.
Oh, dead on the spot.
Dead on arrival. Yeah, I couldn't freaking believe it.
Oh my! All the who he was as a person, the training, the
wild stuff that we've been
all
through.
the wild stuff, all the combat.
And he gets hit walking across the street.
Texting.
Like,
oh my god,
just,
bro!
Like, talk about disheartening.
Oh,
you know.
I can only imagine. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So Dan, yeah, bro, I've lost a couple of people on some amazing human beings with something that you'd be like, wait, what? It's almost, and like you said, it's like like it's unbelievable. Like your body goes through that. But I mean, and then so my question to you, Dan, is once, especially with all the stuff that you went through, especially talking about what you guys have seen and what you've done to, that adrenaline, that rush, that moment that you're talking about, what gives you that thrill? Like, do you try to chase that at all? Are you ever trying to be like? Because I can only imagine. I've never been. Trust me, I've been around shootings. I've been around people that have been killed. And when I was walking to school in New Britain, Connecticut High School, this guy named Miguel De Jesus, he was in a gang. I believe he was in the Latin Kings. He got into a fight with the Jungle Brothers on like 2 weeks prior. The day he got back at school, he's standing in the front. My father drops us off. As me, my brother, and my sister are walking towards him, and I know him. I know everybody. I was gonna go say what's up. A red Trans Am, I believe, Dan, pulls up. And like, it's surreal. You see two guys running across with masks, and it's just, and he's wearing headphones because he's listening to music. You just see, bah, 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 bah. I'm talking about at least 8-10 shots each, bro. And it's like, I'm a freshman. I'm a sophomore. I'm like, what the hell? They leave. I grab my brother and my sister. We fall on the floor. And dude, we walk up to the body and we see it. And it's like, I remember that, like, oh my, like that's the first time I saw something crazy like that. So once you're there, what gets you there? Do you ever have that feeling again of like adrenaline or that moment of like, oh my God?
Well, so I'll say it like this, like, I think a lot of the guys that deal with ongoing PTSD are chasing it, right? It's a dopamine hit you're never going to replicate, though.
Like a heroin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
And it leaves you in a state where, with like an emptiness about you, that if you don't fill with a new purpose, is going to be detrimental to you in the long run. And so I experienced that in just different ways now. Like I kind of accepted the fact that like the days of running and gunning are over, right? My body certainly is not going to tolerate it anymore anyway.
Yeah.
So like, part of, I guess, moving on with that is acceptance, right? And I find that in other things now too. Like I kind of replaced that looking for that dopamine hit with gratitude. Honestly, like I can in a healthy way, like reflect on those times with gratitude, and that allows me to. I mean, I still miss it, of course, because for a variety of things. Like I even miss the violence of it, right? But like, I spent 2 decades perfecting violence. Like, of course, I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoy the competition of it. Like, I mean, even like still doing jujitsu or boxing or whatever, right? That's violence, right? But like, it can be done in a healthy way too. That like can help continue moving you forward, and it helps you focus and And a lot of guys get their purpose from that, you know. And like for me, I get that hit from like helping people, because essentially that's what I was doing all of those years, right? As a medic, is I was helping people, I was saving lives. And so like with all the guns and the toys and all of that, like all that stuff was great, right? I've gotten to see some of the most incredible displays of firepower that the United States military is even capable of, like, and it's just, it definitely leaves you in awe. But like, I can also say with a great amount of certainty that none of that compares. Like, it all pales in comparison to like legit saving somebody's life. And knowing that like there's a person alive and walking around because I was there.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no cooler feeling than that. Like that just leaves you on a cloud where like I guess it's like divine, what's the word I'm looking for? Like validation, right? Yeah. That you are in the right place doing what you were meant to do. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Save that dude.
Yeah, like you saved a life. You didn't create one, but like you saved one, right? That would have expired, you know. And it's kind of funny, on my last deployment in Jordan, one of my twin daughters was super upset with me that I'd only been outside of 3 years of being an instructor, right? Where I was a head on pillow every day, right? But I went from that to 4 months later, I'm deployed again, and I'm going to be gone for 7 months. And my daughters are starting their senior year of high school. Oh, pissed. Oh, I can imagine. Absolute pissed. Of course. Right? And it's like, I get it. And you know, and since then, I've you know, she gave me a message. She was like, Dad, I don't want to talk to you. Don't text me, call me, nothing, until you're home. Like, she was that upset with me. And certainly doesn't help with the headspace and timing that you're at in a combat zone, that your daughter doesn't want to hear from you. And I tried reaching out to her one time, and she was like, Dad, please don't make me block you, but I will. Oh, wow. And I was like, okay. So I respected that space. And, you know, since then I've got to sit down and talk with her about that. And, you know, I said, I don't want you to think that I don't understand where you're coming from. I absolutely understand where you're coming from, right? However, you're only seeing it from the position that you are experiencing it, right? Which is fine. You're 17. I got that. Yeah. But like, remember who and what your father is. Yeah. Right? Like, you're upset because I'm gone and I'm not present, right? But think about the husbands and the brothers and the fathers that get to go home to their families because I'm gone. Because
of your dad.
Like, I have a strong inkling that if you were to talk to them and see whether or not they were grateful that I was gone and that you made that sacrifice so that their husband, father, brother could come home, I bet you they see it differently than you.
And that is a sacrifice that when I tell people, because bro, I know there's so many people out there that bash the military and talk crap about us and veterans, and I'm like, bro, like, it's because of people like you that you get to talk the crap that you want and do everything and have the hate and everything, because the sacrifice. We sacrifice, whether you pro-war, like, listen, we'd be in a whole different situation if it wasn't for people like you doing what the hell you do. And by the way, when you talk about like saving people's lives, did you save anybody's numbers or anything? Because I'm telling you right now, I better be getting Christmas gifts, and I'd be like, yo, dude, just want to say what's up, like every Christmas, every holiday. But yo, Dan, I want you to get in on those things, bro. What are we doing?
Yeah,
keep your fort.
I'm definitely.
Are you done with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had some guys reach out to me.
Yeah, that's the good stuff, by the way.
I've had some guys reach out, but like it's unfortunately it's been at like weird times for me, and I just wasn't entirely sure that it was going to be productive for where I was at in my life at the time to be revisiting that, because you know, when I came back from my last deployment, like I used to go to a place where I would cut my humanity off because of the things that I knew that I was potentially going to be asked to do, And when you're in that headspace, like, it was just easier for me to process. And then when I come home, I cut that switch off, and I'm dad, I'm a husband, and I'm no longer in that situation. It shouldn't bother me anymore. Like, it's over and done with. And I used to pride myself on being able to do that.
But like, and just so, because I know you were talking about weapons and guns. I don't even know, Matt, if you guys have ever heard this before, but you know, weapons and, you know, we're so advanced right now, Dan. They have stuff we can't even imagine. I'm pretty sure you have more of an idea because I haven't been that involved, but I'm pretty sure we have laser, you name it, whatever. Did you guys ever hear that the Air Force, the government was trying to invent a gay bomb back in the 90s? Did you ever hear that? I want everybody at home, I'm dead serious, to Google this, all right? Back in the 1990s, there was an actual Pentagon proposal for a non-lethal chemical weapon that used pheromones to basically make the enemy soldiers attracted to each other and disrupt the military cohesion. So when you talked about, it's so random. I wrote that just in case it was gonna happen. No joking. Could you imagine you're in a foxhole and all of a sudden you hear, and you're like, and you're like, damn, your shoulders look through.
I mean, like,
and guys are just making out. And like, bro, why didn't you guys shoot? We got taken over. Like, yo, Dan's hot. Like, look at his shoulders. Look at his head.
You see it. You can see his traps through the top, bro. You see that? That's hot.
Yeah, like, I get that they want to kill us, but look at Dan.
The vascularity on that one.
Yo, Dan is ripped. Bro, no joke. The amount of stuff that the military would try to do. And apparently there was another one, Dan, that they were thinking about doing, that they would drop a certain bomb in a town and it would give the soldiers, this is around the same time as the gay bomb, halitosis. So if you were like a special forces or somebody, plain clothes, walking around the town, if you were talking to a dude that's breath was really, really bad, the odds were like he'd be a terrorist. Like, think about that. Like, because they bombed the places that these guys were hanging out. Is that wild, bro? Yeah. That is so crazy. I can only imagine right now the technology that we have bomb-wise. All right, Dan, so you touched briefly about, you know, God, and I see you reading the Bible, you know, here and there, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite books. I can't tell the story of, I read something in Matthew that tied back to something but it's one of the most, it's the most amazing, you know, people are like, what's your best self-help book you ever read? And I'm like, it's the Bible. It's all these people, it's all these dudes. That's the best self-help written by, you know, 44 different freaking authors. So what, were you raised Christian, Dan? The family was Christian?
Yeah. And
then you said you obviously, Dan, with war, I'm pretty sure that conversation with God is a lot more often. It's a lot more intentional. But yeah, how close were you? Did you ever have like that Jesus moment, like coming to Jesus moment, which I've told, you know, my audience knows that I've had it? Or was it always just Christian, raised Christian, and then military just kept on going?
No, I mean, I was raised in a Christian environment for sure, but like, had a fairly strict household growing up as well too, and so, like, God was always kind of like forced on me, and so when I had that, I grew up not wealthy by any means, right? And so like I played 3 sports and I worked. Like I didn't even have time to make bad decisions, right? Like, so then when I went to college and I got removed from that structured environment where like church was on Sunday and then, you know, and work, school, blah, 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 right? And sports. And then when I didn't have that anymore, like, well, you know, we already talked about being a heroin addict. Yeah. Obviously, it didn't take very long for me to start making a lot of bad decisions.
Like some of the worst ones.
It was like, I was maybe like sampling bad decisions. But like, I tell people like, oh, you've never tried cocaine. Well, don't worry. Like I tried it for you. I sampled that bad decision, right?
Oh yeah. It smells so good.
Obviously.
So
does this smell like cocaine to you?
Hey guys and gals, Vincent Oshana here. My Faith Over Fear line is taking off and it's all thanks to you. We've got hats, shirts, hoodies, you name it. We also got brand new designs and new apparel dropping all the time. So if you want to rock some Faith Over Fear gear, hit the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the description. And remember, guys, if you have true faith in God, you have absolutely nothing to fear. God bless, and the future looks bright.
I definitely was not perfect by any means, just because I had God in my life. Like, God showed me several times throughout everything I've been through that he's always been with me, like, regardless of how, like, present he felt, or how bad the decisions I were making. It's not like because we're Christians, like, we're on a pedestal now and we're better than everyone else, or we're gonna stop making mistakes, right? That's not, I don't know what Bible people read that said that that's the case with Christians, because it certainly is not, right? Like, we all still fall short, right? I fall short daily,
of course,
right? Like,
of course.
I fall short as a husband and a father and as a business owner and as a teammate, and but I pray a lot for the awareness of those things, so that I at least have an opportunity to make a better decision. I've been kind of hot and cold, throughout my career, and I think part of the ego of being a Green Beret and being at that level, right? You certainly, and I definitely did. I reached a point where, like, there was a lot of arrogance there, and I can do things on my own, like, and you start maybe taking credit for things that you shouldn't be taking credit for, and, like, when you take that credit away, like, you take away God's glory in it as well too, right? And there's obviously that comes at a price.
Of course.
And for me, like, I definitely, I wish I was the man I am now 15 years ago, like, because, man, the Green Beret I could have been.
Oh, but you know what?
But everything happens exactly the way that it's supposed to.
I agree, and I feel like sometimes, Dan, the way, and by the way, people try to figure everything out when it comes to God, bro. I thought for so long, I'm like, people try to figure out with the Trinity and, the Father, the Son, the like, it's like, bro, my Vinnie's little brain is not going to try to figure this out, but he is so amazing, and I believe in my heart of hearts, especially when it comes to praying and asking, and a lot of times, Dan, I'm always like, man, like, what I am now, I think God does everything. Like, by the way, it gives you free will, but sometimes I think it's the thing that you want, the thing that you're striving and you're going for. He doesn't give, like, you pray for, like, I pray on Monday, bro. A lot of people are like, on Tuesday, where are we at? Where's this thing? It's like, bro, maybe, just maybe, which I think it is the case, he's letting you go through all that process so that you could sustain the gift that you've been begging him for all these years. It's almost as if it's not.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
It's not. It's like when they take the sword, Dan, and they're chiseling and they're doing it. You're going through the refining, forging process, so that when the battle happens or that moment happens, you are ready to go. Because if I had what I had now, Dan, not by a stretch, it's not like, oh, I'm balling and I'm doing good. No, I'm okay right now. But if I had this then, when I was partying and I was drinking, Dan, I lost friends because I was supposed to be at these parties. Yeah. So I get where you're coming from. Where in your head, we're always, again, human beings, bro, sinning all the. It's not like I'm sinning like to purposely know that I'm sinning, but I love that you said that we fall short. But I think and to let people know, bro, the closer I get to God, I'm telling you right now, still problems we're gonna lose people and all that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I've never been this happy. I've never been this content. And I've never been filled with that much Holy Spirit. I saw a video. I'm sorry, I wasn't talking. I saw a video of this lady, and she's looking at the camera then. And when I tell you, I felt she was sitting in front of me, and she was talking about, like, what, it's the Holy Spirit when she's like, we're talking, Dan, or something's happening, bro. And this happens to me a lot now. I'll get goosebumps. I'll start getting emotional. It's not like I'm a P word. I feel this inside me, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to give people this joy, because a lot of times people feel like, oh, like you said this earlier, oh, we're trying to push it on people. No, I feel, I'm not better than anybody by a long shot, but I feel like what I've learned and what I've read from this book and from examples and proof, it's proof. It's like the connections and everything that's happened is undeniable, bro. And out of everybody, all the people, all the leaders, he's the only one that came back from the dead. I feel like if I don't at least, in a conversational type of talk, tell these people what I've experienced and what I've learned and what this relationship is in, is as if I'm hanging out with people who are starving, literally ribs showing, and I know that there's food right there and I don't tell them. And they're just sitting there looking at me starving. It's not, I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm not saying I know more than you, but I've experienced it, and I'm telling you, look, there's food, hungry guy.
I found something I think could benefit you.
Yes.
Like do some due diligence and check it out.
Yes.
You know, and like for me, it's the, you know, I think what I lacked all of those years and why I was so inconsistent because of my lack of focus on like the obedience piece to God, right? Like God's still going to bless you, right? But it's going to come in different ways when you're obedient. And, you know, part of, like, I quit trying to figure it out.
Yes.
Because, like, I realized that if I have all the answers now, right, of everything that I want to do in my life, if I know how it's all going to work out, if I have all the answers right now, like, why would I have, what's pushing me to have faith if I already know everything?
Yeah.
If I've got all the answers right now, like, why do I need faith? I don't, right? But God wants us to have faith in him and to trust him and to require faith and have to have trust, then naturally, that means you don't know everything. Like, and that's fine though, right? And so, like, he's steering my ship these days. I'm not steering it at all. Like, I gave those reins up. Turns out I don't know how to steer a boat anyway, right? So, like, I've tried that for many years. And, you know, my pastor was telling me, he was like, you know, you don't have to have all the answers right now to be obedient right now. And sometimes what that blessing you're looking for is lacking is your obedience in areas that you're still continuing to struggle on. You're still not giving that addiction or that whatever it is in your life that's holding you back, right? A lot of times God doesn't answer us in the way that we think he should because of things that we're still doing that we need to stop. Like, we haven't cut these things out of our life. And until we do, like you said, it's not going to put us in a place where we're going to be able to receive that gift. And I'm the same way. Like the stresses that I have or potential stresses, like the things that I could just be crashing out about in my life right now, in my business and everything, right? A year ago, full crash out, like totally could not have handled it, right? But now, like, I'm not steering the ship anymore. Like, I'm simply like, cool, storm, got it. Well, if you're steering me and I'm going into a storm, that means you already have a way out of it and you're the one steering it anyway. So what do I care? Like, that means that there's a lesson for me to learn in whatever this adversity is. And that's for my betterment. Right? That's that next step. That's that next thing so that I can be the man that he intended me to be. And some of those come with lessons, right? And the funny thing is about God is, like, you're gonna keep repeating the class until you learn the lesson. And so, like Groundhog Day. I'm T for trained on some of those lessons, right? Like taking care of my body and you know, not doing the things that I used to do. And some of that is just like quit being stubborn and listen to my body, right? But, like, you know, a perfect example, literally a year ago at this time, like, I was not sure I would ever walk again. Like, my back problems had gotten that extreme. Like, I was experiencing a pain level that, like, was not going to be sustainable. Like, just like I'm not sleeping, I'm passing out from pain every day. I'm taking everything that I can safely take from the doc and even pushing that envelope, like, with my medical knowledge, right, in my background, right, really pushing the envelope, and the pain I'm experiencing is just laughing at it, right? And so to be in that moment and having to even give that to God too, like, I will do whatever you want me to do.
Please.
Like, this, like, I don't know how much more I can take of this. Like, I know you're with me in the good and the bad, like, and even now, right? But, like, just being honest, how much more am I even capable of enduring, right? And so, you know, I was, that prayer got answered and I was able to get, you know, put it this way. I got so many stem cells injected into my back last year. The clinic was super stoked because they have never injected that many stem cells in someone's back before.
Really?
They had also were like, you look like you're 80 years old looking at your back. Like the things that you've sustained, like the fact that you even walked in here is a miracle. Like, and I'm like, 20 years in special forces was a bit rough on the body, right? They leave that out of the brochure, I think, intentionally.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those, don't blame me, blame your recruiter, you know, kind of things. But, you know, I certainly didn't have all the answers then, you know, and that required faith of like, hey, but to be given a second chance at that, like, I had to start giving more things to God. I'm like, but that was a light bulb for me, you know. That struggle was a genesis moment of there is a reason why you're going through this, you know, and maybe the reason is just the testimony, you know, that God can bring you through stuff like that, where every doctor I talk to is there's nothing that we can do for you, man.
Sorry.
Yeah. Like, it sucks, you know, really appreciate your service. And I'm like, that means absolutely nothing to me right now.
Yeah,
like, cool. Yeah, thank you for my service. Noted.
Yeah.
I'm like, how about a new back, you know? And, but to have to, you know, I think the lesson for me was like, you have to start giving everything in your life to God, not just this.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I made that deal of getting me through this, and I'm gonna follow you wherever you lead me. Being on fire for God, and how is he gonna use me today?
I love being on fire for God. It's a t-shirt. All right, Dan. So we're gonna end with two things. We're gonna do. I don't even think have we done it on the show, Mav, where we do Maverick did a bunch of dad jokes. I think how many each? 10 each? Dan, are you ready for this? Yeah. Dan, you're gonna read one. I'm gonna read one. I haven't seen these. I'm being dead serious. Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. I haven't seen them. He's done them. We're gonna go one for one. I'll let you finish your food. Whoever breaks, and they're gonna be the judges. You guys judge, Malik, Jules. Whoever breaks the most out of the 10 pays the tab. All right. Here we go.
All right.
All right, Maverick. All right. This is gonna be hella. But have we ever done this before in the show? Okay. So Dan's dad jokes and Vinny's dad jokes. Oh God, here we go. And then we're gonna do a scene at the end. Oh, okay. You go first. Let it hit me. Give me a second, and then I go with mine, and then we'll just go down the list one at a time.
All right. So smiling is that's failing, right? Just straight stoicism.
You could hold it, but if you break it's over. Oh
okay.
God, I hate this. I hate these. I'm not gonna do good. All right, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Why don't blind people skydive?
Why?
Because it scares the hell out of the dog.
What's the worst part about eating vegetables?
What?
The wheelchair. Wait, is that a twofer? Okay, I love Malik. Malik's judging. Okay, dude, that is so stupid. Okay, all right. Wait, let me gather.
All right.
All right, go.
Why did Piglet have his head in the toilet?
Why?
He was looking for poo.
Okay. Why don't graveyards ever get overcrowded?
What?
People are dying to get in.
Facts.
Okay.
Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Why?
They don't have the guts.
Coming from him saying it? Oh, God, I hate you, Dan. Okay. All right, here we go. Shit, I'm losing, right, Malik? All right, here we go. My doctor told me I'm going deaf. That news was hard to hear.
Rightfully so.
Okay.
I told my girl she drew her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised.
Okay. What does a perverted frog say?
What?
Rub it.
What do you call an Italian hooker?
I don't know.
A prostitute.
Prostitute. That was awesome. That is so freaking. That should be a T-shirt. Oh my God. All right. Why don't oysters donate to charity?
What?
Because they're shellfish. Okay. Apparently Maverick gave him the good ones.
What kind of bees produce milk?
What?
Boobies.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
What?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
That's why you get an award.
Okay.
What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
A hippo and a zippo. I don't know what.
One is really heavy, the other is a lighter.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? Oh, I got one back. Let's go. That's a good one, Mav. All right. Go ahead.
I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me.
It's perfect. That was a good one. Did you do that because you knew he had a beard? Okay. Oh, man. All right. I'm losing. What's the score? 4-5. Oh, shoot. Okay. Look at me. Dan? Okay. What's the hardest part about being a vegan?
What?
Keeping it to yourself for more than 10 seconds.
They do like to tell people.
They do.
Why did the snowman suddenly smile?
Why the snowman say?
Because he saw the snowblower coming.
I swallowed that one. What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs in the ocean?
I don't know.
Bob.
He does.
I heard a laugh in the back,
He does
though,
bob.
but I didn't break. All right, is this the last one?
Why can't orphans play baseball?
Why?
They don't know where home is. That's,
It took me a minute. Oh man, I think. Oh God, does he have to laugh? I think I'm done anyway. But all right. Oh man, how do you spot a blind man at a nude beach?
blind man at a new beach. How's that?
It's not hard. Is that it?
Facts.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Who won that? It was Dan?
I think Dan won, yeah.
Damn it. That was good. Dan, that was the first time we ever did this one. All right, that's that one. All right, Dan. So, one of your favorite movies is Beverly Hills Cop, because I asked you about a week ago. So, we're going to do the scene from Beverly Hills Cop. It's when Eddie Murphy, who plays Axel Foley, comes in to look for his friend who works at an art gallery, and he meets Serge, the flamboyant, eccentric guy that works there.
Yeah.
You're going to be Serge, obviously, and just give us the and action. Remember, you're the flamboyant Serge, and I'm Axel Foley.
Action!
How are you doing today?
Hi.
I'm fine. My name is Serge. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for Miss Jenny Summers.
She's very busy today. Maybe you give me your name?
My name is Axel Foley.
And what's it pertaining?
I didn't understand what you said.
Pertaining? It's what's it meaning? Regarding?
Oh, regarding. I'm an old acquaintance of hers.
Donnie, one moment. Donnie, run and tell Mrs. Summers that Mr. Ahmed Foley is here
no,
to see
Axel
her.
Foley. Axel.
Foley is here to see her. He's an old acquaintance. Donnie, cover this up. It's like
Oh, sorry.
it's like a breast of a dog to scrub for the customer.
Oh.
It's not sexy. It's an animal.
No, it's not sexy at all.
May I offer you something to drink? Wine, a cocktail, espresso.
No, I'm fine.
I'm making myself right back here with the little lemon twist. It's good. You should try it.
No, I'm fine. I freaking love that scene. Anyway, Dan, thank you so much for being here, brother. Great
man.
story. Great past. God, you're on fire for God, brother. I wish you the best. Dan, what you want to tell everybody what the company is, what the website is, where they can find you, where they can look for you? Just tell these guys over here.
Yeah. So Black Flag International is an elite protection agency. We are the Lamborghini of protection agencies. Lamborghini's motto is when you are somebody, and that's when you call Black Flag. So you can reach us right now at info.blackflag.com.
And yeah, guys, we're actually going to do this off screen, but I'm going to see how long it's going to take for Dan to kill me. So we got to go.
Oh, also, you can, I'm on Manect as well.
Oh, yeah, Manek. Don't forget. Peace and love.